a confidence center in Gleneagles Hospital in Singapore, and also the professor and the honorary professor in Western Australia and Indonesia. And he is the dean of the Institute of the Men's Health in Singapore. And as I mentioned earlier, that he is a big shot and very confident and competent professor. He ever published more than 300 high-ranked papers and published more than 10 books in this field. And I also know he had already used low energy shockwave in adults of the erectile dysfunction, more than 270 patients. And today he will give us his experience in this field. Moreover, he will mention about the further application of the shockwave in cardiology and etc. Today, we are very honored and very pleasure to invite him to give us this lecture. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome him with big hand.
Professor Chiang, President of the Andrological Association of Taiwan, Chairman, Co-Chairman, my fellow brothers from Taiwan, old friends in the audience, and new friends which we will be making today, ladies and gentlemen. Now, before I begin, I'd like to thank SharpNet for inviting me here to be part of your workshop. And I'm very impressed by the standard of the work you have presented here today. Now, my brief this afternoon is to tell you about how I've been doing more than 250 patients with low-intensity shockwave therapy, how I've improved the current method of doing it to get better results, and some other uses like use in Peyronie's disease and in chronic pelvic pain disease. Now, when we first started this 2.5 years ago, people were wondering how could you shock the penis and get it to stand. They all expected it to fall down instead of stand up. And people were afraid that we will cause severe injury to the penis. Now, in all the patients I've done so far, we have had no reported adverse events that can be documented. And others have published identical findings. Now, the machine that I started with was the ED1000, which is actually a Israeli manufactured machine. And this is a shock head of the Israeli machine. As you know, shock wave was first invented to treat in urology stones. But at that time we used very high energy, 250 bars of energy. Then the orthopedic boys started coming to the game, and they reduced the energy to about 200 bars to treat pain in the bones and joints. Now, urology, we are the Johnny come lately, excuse the pun. But we started wanting to use it for erectile dysfunction, but at the lowest energy of 80 bars. However, the cardiac boys beat us to it. They actually started using it for revascularization of the coronary vasculature by using an intermediate power of about 80 to 100 bars. And I'll show this to you shortly. Now, as I told you that cardiologists have been playing with it for the past 10 years to manage chronic cardiac ischemia. And the energies we are talking about today is very low energy of 0.09 millijoules per square meter. About 10% of the energy we use for breaking kidney stones. So you are asking, I heard earlier, many questions directed at my friend in Kaohsiung. the handsome man. You are asking him how the hell it works. Well, actually, this is a simplified way of telling you how it works. If your shockwave creates a shear stress, which causes intra and extracellular changes. And in these changes, we see stimulation of endothelial nitric oxide synthase. And that's why you get a lot of big nitric oxide in the tissue. You also get release of vascular endothelial growth factor. And because of that, you get accumulating cell nuclear antigen production. And the net effect of all this is, of course, neovascularization. Now, let's say this is a blood vessel. So when you shock it, you see what happens? You get sprouting of new blood vessels, which we term angiogenesis. Let's go back. Now, this is another, I think a better picture of what the situation is. Shock wave is a mechanical response giving rise to shear stress injury and cavitation, which causes all these responses. And you get nitric oxide, you get VGEF, you get production of cell nuclear antigen, and then you get, in the short term, vasodilatation. And in the long term, new or neovasculature forming, giving to increased perfusion and more blood entering into the organ. Now, the nitric oxide that you get in the tissue is non-enzymatically created by the shock wave. There is increased expression of VEGF and its receptor FLT-1. So if you measure all this, you can see it in tissue. And all this work is, I noted, fantastically well done in Kaohsiung. It seems to be the place to go to. And for those who are non-believers, the doubting Thomases, this is Easter, so if you are doubting, alright, you can go and have confession before you go to church. But if you still don't believe, here are the references for all what I've been saying, and you can check it out in the papers listed on the right. Now, let's go back to the cardiologists. What were they doing? Low-intensity shockwave therapy ameliorated the severity of angina pectoris and ischemic heart failure. They found this out. So, right now, in Asia, there are only 3 centers with the machine for the heart. You can find it in St. Luke's Hospital in Manila. You can find it in the University Hospital in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And you can find it in Indonesia, also in the University Hospital. 3 machines exist for the treatment of the heart. The patient lies down, and you get the echo ultrasound monitor to see where to shock, to direct your shock waves, and you get a shock wave generator, and you shock at the coronary blood vessels, and you get revascularization. Well, that's the actual machine, and the table that comes with it. So if you buy one here for your hospital, they will give you this automatic couch free of charge. Now, what does it do? When after low intensity shock wave to the heart, you end up with the improved ejection fraction and stroke volume. You get diminished severity of chest pain as evidence. If you check the patient after a test of a 6-minute walk, you find that if he has any pain, the pain is much, much better than he had before the treatment. And this is from my colleague here in the Division of Cardiology in your own hospital in Taiwan, Professor Morgan Fu. Is he here? No? Okay, he gave me these pictures actually. He did angiography before and after, and you can see that there's new blood vessels forming after the shock wave. So if you are in a private practice and you want to make big money, install one of these machines. Many men will come to you, but nobody likes an operation here on angioplasty. of course, you see the multi-center results taken in the year 2011. You see the improvement in all these parameters, 35% there, tolerance capacity 34%, and the increase or diminished weekly nitrate intake 79%, increased ejection fraction, mean improvement 11%, and myocardial perfusion improvement 33%. Now, we are all urologists. To hell with the cardios. Let's talk about our own thing. Alright? Now, what about low intensity shockwave for ED? Now, this Professor Vadi is from Israel. You know, Israelis are very inventive. So this guy thought, why not shoot the penis? If you can improve the heart, why not the penis? So one of our earlier colleagues already showed you the paper in detail concerning his paper in this study, where he did it on the penis. And this is a summary of his paper. What he did was he shot the forearm as a control, he shot the penis as the real thing, and you notice that this is the baseline, it is 1 month after the follow-up. The baseline flow here compared to the baseline flow here, and the maximum flow here compared to the maximum flow here. That in the penis, it improved. The blood flow improved. But in the forearm, you can see it's much less, but the penis definitely improves. Alright? So that means it does work. And then he took it to the clinical situation, and then he did it on the penis, and he noted that the IEF improved after 1 month. The IEF total, this is the ED domain, this is the QEQ, this is a rigid score, and this is the shear Q. And you notice that the improvement is real, it's not imagined. Now, I had a former trainee who worked with me. He said his boss sent him over to me from India, and his name is S.S. Vasan. Now, S.S. Vasan today is the king of shockwave in India. Now, he has 6 machines. Crazy, you know. He owns 6 machines throughout different cities in India, and he has done more than 1,000 patients. He's done much more than me, actually. I was told I've done the most in anywhere east of India. But from India, he's done 1,000 patients, you know, this guy. And he did one thing which I can never do back home. He did a placebo-controlled study. You see, what he did was he did a sham study. He shocked one group of patients, and the other group that came, he put a metal plate inside the shocking head. So the shock waves went through the metal plate and was reflected back. The patient thought that he had the shock wave, but the waves never hit the penis. So using the sham treatment, he found that he used a 12-session protocol, and this sham treatment showed that the shock wave improvement was real and it wasn't an imagined one. And he published it in the Canadian Journal of Urology in February 2015. Now, only India can get away with it. In Taiwan, you'll be sued, I'm sure. In Singapore, you'll be caned in jail. Now, this is another study. Francois Guglielmo. It's a very interesting, very humble old man, but very knowledgeable in the uroandrology department. He showed that it works in type 2 diabetes, independent of the NO cyclic GMP pathway. So he's done some studies that show that it works in diabetes. But in my own hands, the diabetic story is not so wonderful. I'll explain later. So in Guglielmo's study, he, like the people in Kaohsiung, he also did animal studies. He took this red diabetic, and then he shocked a group, he shocked them after that, and he actually found that it worked. He would shoot it in rats who are made diabetic. So he started with animal studies. Now, also to follow up on what you learned from the Kaohsiung group, Professor Irwin Goldstein, formerly he was in Boston, now he's in the University of California. He came to our country and gave a Singapore lecture in September last year, and I quote him, from laboratory studies done by his team has been shown that ESWT works by activating stem cells in the cavernosal tissue. Okay, 3 cheers for calcium. He has confirmed your study. And then he used PRP, a stem cell activator. PRP is a magical thing. You just draw 100 cc's of your own blood, you can create PRP. So you can actually just inject it into the penis. It's wonderful, you know. It's an easy way of solving the problem. I'll tell you about my story about we inject real stem cells into the patient later.
It's non-invasive and pain-free, with no sedation or anesthesia required.
This is how it's done.
With proven success in promoting cardiac angiogenesis as well as extracorporeal shockwave therapy for treatments in the field of urology, Metaspec now applies the same expertise to vascular-related erectile dysfunction with the ED1000. Applied to the penile shaft and crura, the ED1000's low-intensity shockwaves result in improved blood flow and accumulation of blood in the penile corpora following sexual arousal. An ED1000 treatment series results in improved erectile function with...
Okay, now you may ask, who is suitable for this form of therapy? Notice that erectile dysfunction, the etiology, 70% actually can be treated. Why? Because in any cohort of ED patients, 6% are due to endocrine disorders, 40% are due to diabetes, endocrine disorders, and vascular disease 30%. So if you take 40 and 30, it's about 70%. This is due to the vasculogenic problem, and this is due to vasculogenic problem. You add the two, so you can treat 70% of the population. So it's a good modality to have in private practice. That's why in our country, the ordinary doctors are all trying to buy the machine. And so to create some sanity, the Urological Association, what we did was we created a certificate in men's health course for all doctors who want to learn men's health. And if they were to be certified that they have attended the course, then we allow them to own this machine and treat people with it. So that's the only way you can control the situation in Taiwan, I think, if you want to control the people. Otherwise, everybody will buy it. The beautician doctor, the cosmetic doctor will want to buy it. The dermatologist will want to use it. The general family doctor wants to use it because it makes money. So you have to control the situation. They will do an injustice to the science of this machine because they will use it, they don't understand what it's all about and mess it up, and then everybody will say that the machine is useless. So even for the company selling it here, Sharpman, is it? Your company, it's in your interest to make sure that the practice is regulated here. So those of you who want to see how we run our course, we are running a course in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, on the 22nd of 20th to 22nd of May. No, July. It's in July this year. And you're welcome to attend if you'd like to attend. You learn all about men's health. It's not just about ESWT. The whole field of men's health is covered in 2 days, and you get a certificate issued by our Society for Men's Health and the University Kebangsaan of Malaysia. So it's a joint certificate will be issued to you. 2-day course. So you're welcome. Now, you have seen this, how it's applied. I think many pictures, I will speed up on this. Technique, there you are.
Treatment locations to which 300 shocks must be applied. Above the base, at the center of the shaft, and right below the glans penis. At each location, attach. Now, this is the part you have to apply at the right and left crust of the cavernosal body. So you've got to aim it and you point towards anterior superior iliac spine. Alright? And now you go to the opposite side and do the same thing. Place the center of the shockwave applicator below the patient's anterior superior iliac spine in the direction of the pubic symphysis, following the corpus cavernosum's crura direction. Apply shockwaves according to the treatment protocol. Then repeat the procedure on the opposite side of the pelvis and in the direction of the second corpus cavernosum's crura.
Okay, in the Dornier machine, the head is a big flat head like this. So that's the difference. But I have modified our current technique. Instead of just putting it in predetermined positions, during the shocking, I move it from the tip to the back along the line of the deep cavernosal artery. Slide it back and forth during the shocking. Okay, these are the 5 areas that you must shoot. I'll show it in a kind of an interactive form here. You can see it. This is the way you have to make sure you do it at the end, mid shaft and the proximal shaft, and do not forget the crust as it goes underneath the pubic bone. And what I've been doing is the 300 shocks per site technique. At these 5 sites I mentioned, 6 sessions, total of 9,000 shocks per patient, and 300 shocks per site. So you do it twice in the first week, 2 times the second week, and 2 times the third week. Then you stop for 3 weeks, and then you call the patient back to assess the results. Now there are some new protocols that we have created. Let me show you the protocols. This is the everyday protocol. Every day. This is the every other day protocol. This is the standard protocol, twice a week, twice a week, twice a week. And this is the 3 times a week protocol. Now you ask me, what the hell are we doing all this? There's a reason, because our center is a regional center for medical care. And people fly in. I've got patients coming from as far as Denmark, Holland. Yes, you'll be surprised, because people come all the way from all over the world. And Russia, Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, they come from everywhere. And they had to go home. They cannot stay for 3 weeks. So we thought we'll do different protocols and see. But they seem to have the same effect. So don't worry, you can do it every day also. You can do it every other day. And it doesn't seem to matter. It doesn't make much difference. Okay, this is the real thing. This is how it's done. Okay, now in the ED1000, the Israeli machine is all predetermined the shock head for you. So you do not have to think. It's very easy, nothing to think, just do. Alright? It's a ring, wham, bang, thank you, man, something like that. Okay? Right. Whereas for the Dornier machine, you have to switch the frequency. And there's a problem with the Dornier machine. When you shoot shockwave, we have tested, we found that if you just use the frequency and the power they advise, it doesn't work. The Dornier machine works only at maximum power, and it's very painful at maximum power. It's very painful. So that's the problem. All right. So that's why we advocate the use of the Israeli machine, because it's very user friendly, no brainer. We like that kind of stuff, you can, in a hospital, you can arrow to your junior resident and he can do it because it's no brainer. Okay, then my previous colleague who spoke before me already showed you all the trials, showing you that the green shows the improvement. You can see, this is at 4th week, the 7th week, 8th, 13th week. It seems you can see it improving. So it's not a bluff thing, it's a real thing. So he showed you these, you can see again here, severe vasculogenic ED, poor response to PD5 therapy. When you shock it, you can see it's improving. This is the second follow-up. Alright, this is without, you see, people who already used to use Viagra, Cialis or Levitra, they use it after many years, it doesn't work anymore. When you shoot them, they'll start working again. So in this group, for example, follow up 1 week later, and they don't have to use any more PD5, it's working. And this is the follow-up 2 weeks later, those who still have to use PD5, but it now can work. Previously, Even with PD5, it doesn't work. Now, this is 99 patients in this series, as you can see. This is mild, moderate, severe EHS grading. So, if you have very high, very low EHS grading, then you need sometimes a double session. Instead of 6 sessions, you stop for 3 weeks, you add another 6 more sessions, you salvage the failure. You can salvage another 30%, those who fail with the 6-session therapy. You see, in other words, if you fail the first treatment session using the 6-session type of treatment, you can proceed from the 6 shocks. Now you go to 12 shock treatments protocol. You can salvage another 33.3%. Now, what about, is it durable? Does it last only 5 days or does it last longer? Well, this study showing that 24 months follow-up is still very good, as you can see. Alright, this is the 1-year follow-up maintained. This is another series, 24 months follow-up, you can see. It's still working after 2 years. Now let me show you my own personal series. This is my own personal, every case I personally did. I did not really get it to the first-year resident. Alright, it's all done by myself. As you can see here, and I've got it in your handout there, those that improve to, if you improve to erectile hardness score 1 or 2, I consider failure. In my hands, I will consider it's not good enough, so it's a failure. So if I consider only 3 and 4 as success, this is my success rate. So you can see 35% improved to EHS 4 and 40% improved to EHS 3, with others improving to 1 and 2, which to me not good enough. So I consider them as failure. Now you will see also that I put in here those whose the success rates for chronic pelvic pain and for Peyronie's disease, which I will show again later, so I will not look at the figures right now. Now let's look at the success rate. Notice that those between 50 to 70 to 69 seem to do very well. And I think most of us stay in front belong to the age group. So it will work for us. Now if you are very old or you are very young, it seems to be not so good results. Now you ask yourself why? Because the very young ones here tend to be the ones who are having type 1 diabetes. The very old ones here have heart attack and you name it, all a lot of comorbidities. So those are the adverse factors. So these are the failures. The failures seem to be, as I said before, well, they are spread throughout the spectrum actually. But notice that these are the type 1 young diabetic, juvenile diabetes. Alright? Okay, let's study more. Okay, these are the results in the diabetics versus no diabetics. Okay? So if you are not a diabetic, your success rate is very high. If you are a failure, you notice that the 29% of the failures were diabetics here. Whereas you are not a failure, rather if you are diabetic, 54% are the ones who are diabetic. If you're not diabetic, it's half the figure. So diabetics is, being a diabetic is bad news actually. But there's a solution for it, I will show you later. Now what if you had a heart attack before, ischemic heart disease and heart attack? Again, those with ischemic heart attack, the results rates are lower, can you see? Whereas you have no past history of ischemic heart disease, the success rate it shoots up beyond the graph here. Now how about hypertension? Now if you have hypertension or normal hypertension, the results are not very much different. Marginally worse, marginally. But as long as you control the blood pressure before you go for treatment, they seem to do reasonably okay. So high blood pressure is not a bad adverse factor. But we found that high lipids seem to be an important adverse factor. You notice that high lipids here, you see the results are much worse. 24% of the failures occur in those with high lipids, whereas 18% of those in the non-high lipids only occur. So high lipids is an adverse factor. How about hypogonadism? How about if you are having testosterone deficiency syndrome? Now, you see, if you don't give testosterone in people who are having testosterone deficiency, your results are less good. You notice 80% of the failures here of these with low testosterone were not given any testosterone. But if you were to treat them with testosterone first, then you shock them, the results are not bad, you see. The results are not bad. The failures drop, you see. So before you shock them, do all these tests first. Check for testosterone, check for high cholesterol and so forth. Then you can change the outcome of your treatment. Okay, now these are the failures. I just wanted to show you that the very old patients have a poorer prognosis. So if you see a very old man walking in, don't make too many promises. All right. Okay, now we've discovered a trick that if you were to start your patients on a low dose PDE5, like Cialis 5 milligrams once a day, all right, we put them on it first, then we shock it, and these are the ones we do not put them on it before shocking. You find that those who are put on Cialis 5 milligrams once a day do much better. I'll explain why shortly. Don't worry, it's all coming. Hold on to your seats. Put on your seatbelt, please. If you don't, we at United Airlines will beat you up and drag you out from your chair. Now, like I mentioned earlier, if you have been taking, or the patient has been taking PDE5 inhibitors for many years, and then now suddenly it doesn't work, these are the perfect candidate for shockwave treatment. You see, non-responder were converted back to responder. You see, this 105 prior PDE5, and those who were naive to PDE5, if you had prior PDE5 not working, you shock them now, you see they're working like crazy, working very well. But if they were naive to PDE5, you shock them, these are the results, but not as good as those who had prior use of PDE5 inhibitor. Okay. Now again, why am I showing this again? I think I like my old trainee too much. That's his paper if you want to check it out. Alright, that's his paper. I don't know why I'm showing it. Go see now. I brought this up again to show you about this stem cell. Now I have a colleague. Stem cell use in Singapore is not approved by the government. So I have a collaboration with my friend in Hong Kong. His name is Joseph Wang. All my diabetic patients that fail with shockwave therapy, I send them to him in Hong Kong, and he injects stem cells, fat-derived adult stem cells, and they all respond after that. So stem cells work, right? So this is part one of the first part of the presentation. If you use it for arteriovenous ED, it will work. And if the arterial disease in the patient is mild, or the patient is younger, you get better response. Remember, the older person doesn't do so well. In the patient who was all the time using PDE5 inhibitors, after the shockwave, they can either take it off or reduce the dose of oral PDE5 inhibitor, and it will work. Whatever it is during the treatment, when they have an improvement, the patient develops new confidence. And this is the reason why when you do the shockwave in a psychogenic ED, it also works. I think this is a strong contributing factor. It builds confidence in the patient, and the psychogenic component is ameliorated. Now, if your angiogram or your color Doppler ultrasound shows that the arterial supply is totally blocked, then they will not get a response. We have seen that. So I do a lot of penile revascularization surgery back home. So if they're young, I do it, then it is total block. I think the shockwave technology modifies the primary pathology and can slow progression of disease in addition to its therapeutic role. And because of this finding of mine, I decided to do studies on how to optimize the result ESWT. Now, let me show you the part 2 of this presentation. This is the end of part 1. This is part 2. Oh, sorry, the improvement is the part 3. The part 2 is about the use in Peyronie's disease and chronic pelvic pain. So let's get this out of the window first. Okay, Peyronie's disease. You see this plug here? Alright, that's the Peyronie's disease. Now, Peyronie's, the use of shock wave in Peyronie's disease is not that new. More than 15 years ago, someone already did some studies using shock wave, showing that it helps. And of course, Peyronie's disease is sometimes referred to as induratio penis plastica. It's due to this plug in the penis. Alright? And the ESWT improves blood flow, it relieves erectile pain, it stabilizes the plug size, and it stabilizes the penile curvature. Now, in my own experience, it does not improve the curvature per se. It softens the plug. So when you feel it before the shockwave, you feel it, then after the shockwave, you feel it, it's softer. It's no longer hard. And if you had pain before, the pain disappears totally. So it's reason to do it. Okay, so how do you do it? You have to do it 6 times. Week 1, every week 1 time for 6 weeks. And you have to use 3,000 shocks. Right? Remember this, don't promise curvature. It does not help with the curvature improvement. Now these are my results. As you can see, where is it now? Failed 3, improved 6. Good results, excellent. I never had an excellent, but good 4. Now remember that in this type of disease, you want maximal improvement, you have to rely on some adjunctive procedures. So we have given some of them penile traction therapy, peritoneal injection, or stem cell injection. We have done a few types of things in order to improve our initial success rate of 76%. So I think ESWT is not the final answer to Peyronie's disease, but it is a useful initial treatment or a co-treatment for the disease entity. Just to show you how it's done, it's also done like that. As you can see, it's the same way. Now look at this, this is my original platform to put the penis. Let me show you what it was. This is the original platform we used. The first time I did it, I modified it for my Dornier machine. This Dornier machine is for kidney stones, imagine that. So we created a platform like that, we put the penis on it, then we put the probe on, like that, and we shock it. That was the original way we did it, before we had the custom-made shockwave head for it. And now you have very nice equipment that can be used to do, you see the pain is the best, and at best your curvature is stabilized, but it does not get rid of it, and the plug formation becomes stabilized and softer, not hard. And that's the plug, and now your new platforms with this lever has been created. You can put the penis there and lift it up and down. And this is to even a special contraption to hold the penile head for you. We have done all sorts of innovative ways to, because the head is quite heavy, so we have got a connection here that can hold on to it for you. You see, it holds on to the thing and so forth. If you don't have this, you ask your supplier to go and make one for you. Now this is the adjunctive treatments we use for Peyronie's disease. I put them on Cialis 5 mg daily 3 to 6 months prior to ESWT before doing it. Papers have been shown that if you use long-term chronic PD5 inhibitor, you can actually partially dissolve the plug or soften it. The papers are there in the literature. So because of that, but the treatment with the chronic PD5 is 9 months before you get the result. So I put them 3 to 6 months and I shock them and complete the 9 months of treatment. Alright? and I continue it for another 3 more months and become 9 months. Now, if you still feel the plug and the patient is still fussy about it, you can send them for Xiaflex injection. Or if you don't have the Xiaflex, which is not only currently available in the USA and in Australia, you can use verapamil injection. Now, going back to the chronic pelvic pain syndrome, it's a non-invasive in-office treatment requiring no anesthesia. It utilizes a combination of biofeedback and point and shoot method, triggering the body's own repair mechanisms to relieve pain. And as you have heard, it does work. Now, I've done it only 19 patients. As you can see, fail 1, fair 1, good 1, and excellent 1. Total of 5. I mean, it should not be 19 patients, sorry. It should be 5. Is it? Oh, no, it's 19, sorry. Interstitial cystitis is 5. This is a female. Now, I want to mention some of female. You notice I have a lot of men. It's a men's health clinic, so I have a lot of men. I also run a incontinence clinic. So I get females coming with IC and Chuang Wai Chi from Kaohsiung, right? He came to my place and we are old friends too. So we do a lot of pain in women. So I decided that why don't I try this on women? And it works quite well actually. Even very bad cases of IC, when you shock them, they improve actually. And I use a plastic, or rather a soft plastic dildo, which I put water inside and push it into the vagina. Then I shoot it around the invitus, and then the dildo with the water inside will transmit the shock waves inside the pelvis. Otherwise, when you shoot into the vagina, it's an empty hole with air only. So you will not get the shock waves inside. And it seems to work quite well, even in very bad cases of IC. So chronic prostatitis, 86%, IC, 80% success for the pain. There you are. You see, you got this is for chronic prostatitis. Shoot along the perineum, including the perineal body, and don't forget one shot here at the crust on the right and left. All right, and we use here we are 2,400 shocks, 8 locations, and 6 sessions, twice a week, totaling 14,400 shocks per patient for the male. This is for the male. Now this is part 3, how to improve your results. I think this will be interesting to those who are already doing it. They always ask me how to improve the results. So here we are. I now reserve 300 shocks to shock the spongy urethra. Surprisingly, no pain when you shock the urethra, the corpus spongiosum. Now you ask me, why am I doing it? Because the corpus spongiosum gives blood to the head of the penis. So you find that they tell you the head becomes harder. Yes. So I'm sure all of you have seen patients coming, doctor, my head is soft. Your Viagra, everything, my head is soft, but the erection is there. This is the way to treat soft glands, penis head. You shock the spongy urethra. So 300 shocks reserved for that. Now, this is my new protocol. And by the way, I'm not the only one who advocated this. You speak to Irving Goldstein from America. He's totally in agreement that's the way to do it, and he does it for all his patients. Now, I mentioned about the use of PD5, chronic administration of low-dose PD5, and some of them don't take it, so I give them Viagra ODT, 50 milligrams per each ESWT session. Well, let me tell you why this should work. Use of chronic, alright? Let's go back. Okay. Where is it now? Now, you will remember the cascade I showed you of why it works. Notice that at this point, you get endothelial nitric oxide synthase producing a lot of NO. So, what if I augment this part of the pathway? if I were to pour in more nitric oxide, I would enhance the endpoint, isn't it? This is logical. So what we do is that we augment it with tadalafil or Viagra even. Viagra, because some of the patients come in without any treatment before. They just want it immediately. So you give them the oral dispersible Viagra, which works fast. Put it in the mouth. You see it happening in front of you. They've swallowed it or they've sucked it in the mouth. Then within an hour or so, you can start doing it for them in your clinic right away. Or if he agrees, he starts the tadalafil 5 milligram once a day. Then you come back after it's already about 2 or 3 days in the blood. Then you start the shockwave. So you augment this pathway. So in daily dose is the best, is the easiest actually. So that's one way to improve your results. Okay, this is the daily once a day, and that is the oral dispersible, which I do it for the patients walking in without taking anything, because it works right away. Now, how about the shearing stress? Can you augment this or not? Is there any way you can make the patient experience this at home? So I tell him you can buy a miniature machine and take it home to do it twice a week. Yes? So we will then here elicit the memory effect of the original shockwave. So I use this reflexonic to recapture the memory effect of the shockwave, which is FDA approved actually for erectile dysfunction.
Simultaneous vibratory stimulation of both surfaces of the penis at high frequency for about 7 to 10 minutes can lead to reflexogenic activation of sexual pathways that initiate gradual filling.
Okay? So you find that this one gives you a vibratory frequency of 70 to 110 hertz. And we advise the patient to use it for about 10 minutes. And it's used in ED caused by paraplegia, you know. It's been approved for ED management in the United States. And this machine costs only about about $400 US. And they can use it forever. And whenever they have difficulty, they can apply it. So it's worth purchasing for a patient who has ED. So if you ask them to get one of these, they can do it at home. You put the penis here, and then they can try to recapture the effect of the vibration at home. So your shop vet can supply you now. I told them how to get it for you if you want them. Alright? Now there's another innovation which I've embarked on. How about the concomitant use of prostaglandin as Muse, Bifa, Vitaros, etc. during the shocking? You will also augment the NO pathway. So I now have a new arm where I use Vitaros 3 mg per gram cream marketed by Takeda. It's a Japanese company and it comes in a box like this, and we just drip it inside the penile shaft, or rather the urethral lumen, and rub it in before you start your shock wave. Alright, that's it. That's the Vitaros. I think can you all get the American version here? The Muse. Can you all get it here? Do you have it? Then perhaps you should get this one. This one is European. It's now already marketed in Europe already. It's from Japan. And Canada, yes, Canada. He knows everything. He has one carton at home actually for self-use. I think. Can I buy half from you? Yes. And of course, I mentioned to you about this is the thing about stem cells. If a patient doesn't seem to work that well, either you inject plasma, platelet-rich plasma into the penile shaft, into the cavernosa cell tissue, or which you can do yourself because it's easily obtained by drawing 100 cc's of blood and spinning it down, you know. Or you can send it to somebody who knows how to inject stem cells. It will work, especially the type 1 diabetics that fail. When I send them for stem cell injection, they seem to work after that. So this is exactly what I'm saying. You see, in research studies published by the Journal of Stem Cell Research, there's a journal. if you will read this journal, you see that every time they talk about it, in every issue there's something about stem cells. Low intensity shockwave stimulates the creation of more progenitor cells, which repairs faulty endothelial and cavernoso tissue. That's the science behind it. Higher levels of circulating progenitor cells are found in areas treated with low intensity shockwave therapy. So this is the reason why stem cells, when given together, ESWT works. Alright? So these are the newer ways to make the technique of ESWT work better for our ED patients. Now, what about the future? And that's my last comment I'm going to make for this afternoon session. Irving Goldstein actually told me he's already treating a series of patients. Female sexual dysfunction, he's using shockwave to treat them. And he tells me it works. Personally speaking, I've not tried it yet. I'm asking for female volunteers. Any females out there want to volunteer? It's free, I'll give it free. Right? But Irving Goldstein says it works. So that's the new field ahead of you. So anyone doing female sexual dysfunction, you may want to get one of these machines. Thank you very much for your attention.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Lim, the king of the Singapore, in the field of the andrology. And thank you very much for your comprehensive and very updated and practical lecture this afternoon. Now, the time is open for discussion. Any question or comment from the floor? Okay, please.
Thank you, Professor Lim. In your experience with patients that previously haven't been using Cialis, what would the endpoint of Cialis be after ESWT treatment?
Actually, what I do inform them is that after you use Cialis for a while, during the treatment, you carry on for at least 3 months. After that, I leave it to them whether they want to stop or they don't want to stop. Now, I tell them that Cialis once a day has a chronic reparative action. As you know, that Cialis repairs the smooth muscle mechanism in the tissue. And the smooth muscle repair is real. I'll just give you an example. I have a trial I'm doing right now on females who had radical hysterectomy for cancer. And the gynecological department sent all the patients to me after the operation with chronic bladder failure. They have devascularized the bladder, they have stripped the nerves away, and the whole bladder is unable to contract. So they are on self-catheterization or indwelling catheter. So for this group of females that come to me, I put them on Cialis 5 mg once a day. And I take the catheter off after 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 1.5 years, and so forth. And I find that most of them recover either at the 6th month or at 1.5 years, depending on how severe the devascularization. And if you study the reason why they improve is because the smooth muscle in the bladder has regenerated with Cialis once a day. So likewise, I think if this can work in the bladder, why not in the penis? Penis is also the smooth muscle, and it should work more efficaciously than in the bladder. So I tell the patients, if you take this once a day, you might be able to continue your good effect without relapse. And then I tell them that you don't need to take 5 milligrams a day, you can take 2.5 milligrams a day, and you will still be better. So many of them continue the 2.5, but some will stop. So now I will do my follow-up, I will see in the long term, maybe I'll come back in 10 years time when I walk in with a walking stick here and tell you the results of those patients and see, which one improve, how long they improve, how sustainable it is with 5 milligrams, 2.5 milligrams, or after taking it off after the 6 months is over.
Okay, any other question? Right, please.
Yes, Lim, can you talking about a little bit PRV infection? So I just wondering do you have any kind of method to keep your PRV and stay in the corpus callosum longer? Because when we inject you will come. So do you have any know-how or tips to keep the PRP in the cavernous tissue longer?
Keep what in the
In the cobalt,
The effect of the PRP in penis.
PRP.
Longer.
Oh, PRP.
Side effect, because when we injection the PRP, the blood flow will keep flow. So
Yes.
the PRP won't stay longer in your corpus cavernous. So do you have any kind
Actually, I have a lot of experience with PRP. But PRP, to be frank with you, is only an activator. It is an activator of stem cells. It is not stem cell, you see. So if you want to use PRP, you have to it's only for the period you inject. It will not be there forever. So if you want, you got to put in the stem cell. And then you put in the stem cell, then you shoot in PRP at the same time. It's even better. So there's no way out of it. But you have other forms of activators of stem cells. You can use other forms. I've not used other forms because they are more difficult to get. But PRP is easy to get and it's free. You see, your own body provides it. Your blood, and you draw will give it to you.
Okay. Any other question, please?
Thank you for your great sharing and speech. I want short on the ESWT. So would you mind share the protocol how to use the ESWT at the ESWT?
And the urethra.
ESWT.
No, you just take the probe,
How about the number of shots? How about the shots?
300.
The number.
300 shots. You start at the junction between the bulbous, between the anterior and posterior urethra junction. Then you just shoot in between the two testicles. You go right in between the two testicles, down at the bulbous urethra. Then you just shoot like that, right to at the end and back and forth. 300 shots. That's all.
My question is, do you have any patient complaint any discovered at the shot on the ESWT?
No one has complained of pain, and so far, because I started this as a new protocol, so I have not analyzed it yet. But the patients come back, I always ask them, so I record it, and most of them tell me actually the head is harder. The gland's penis head is harder with it.
Do you have any patient complaint
With pain?
Yeah,
No. No pain, you see, that's right. I expect pain. I agree with you. Because it makes sense, it's where you pass urine and you're shocking it. So you expect pain. But you don't have pain. But if you think about it logically, shockwave technology, when you have pain, you get rid of pain. You see, what your Kaohsiung film star showed you just now? The film star showed you that when you shockwave, your inflammatory factors are all diminished. So why should you get pain? All the pain factors are all eliminated. So it makes sense if there's no pain. Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, please.
Yes, sir.
Do you routinely use color Doppler before?
Okay, the color Doppler is offered to all my patients, but many of the patients, not all will agree to it. So there are many who would agree, but there are also as many that will refuse. The reason is that they fear the injection of the prostaglandin into the penile shaft, into the corporal body for the test. So half of them may agree, the other half don't agree. But those that don't agree, I use history and examination to diagnose it. It must be arteriogenic before I would do it. In the history, it's clear cut that it could be veno-occlusive erectile dysfunction. For example, the patient that walks in and say, since I started having sexual activity, I've been noticing it's getting worse every year. I cannot maintain my erection. I can initiate the erection, no problem, but within 3, 4, 5 minutes, the erection goes off. It's classical of veno-occlusive erectile dysfunction. In those patients, I will insist on a color Doppler before I will do it, because I tell you, you're wasting your money. It won't work for veno-occlusive erectile dysfunction. So we want to know it before we start.
Do you put the shovel under penal glands?
And the peanut
黑骨頭你睇喎
glands. Okay. Do I shock it?
Yeah.
No, I don't shock it there. Reason because in the
You know, in the carnival.
no, because of the penile at the glans penis itself, the arteries are end arteries. It's ending there, and the blood is just discharging it into the pool of the tissue, whereas the spongy tissue is the source of the arterial supply. You want that to improve.
Does it become the bigger next day?
Sorry?
Is swelling? Any swelling tissue reaction if you put on the glands?
I have actually, since you mentioned it, I'm a bit inquisitive. So I've actually tried it to see whether the patient complains of pain. Actually, most of them don't seem. When I ask them, any pain? No. But then I ask them during the whole shocking, the shocking of the head, is it different from the rest of the shocking? He said yes. It's a more sensation and maybe a bit more, well, minimally painful, that kind of thing, during the shocking of the head. But they do not mind it. Even if I shock the head, nobody complains. Very strange.
Okay, last question. What is the standard protocol for you to treat your patient? Is it 6 sessions or 12 sessions?
So like I said, 6 sessions will work in most of 72% of patients, or 70-80% of patients, it will work. So you have those who fail and come back after 6 sessions. Then I tell them that I will salvage another 33% success. You don't go on to the 12th session. And anyway, we need a 3-week resting period before the next 6 sessions. So I tell them, okay, you rest for the 3 weeks. Now you're rested, you will start the other 6 weeks. We complete the 12 weeks, you'll get 33% chance of success in add-on. And quite a number will agree if they have failed. Yes.
Thank you. Any other question? Okay. I think time is quite limited. So last 2, okay? So last 1.
In your experience, because we now have personalized therapy, secondary therapy for these 80 patients. In your opinion, could it be a game changer in the future of therapy? Maybe what is the size of the procedure would be like this kind of therapy?
Actually, it's still standard teaching. The first-line therapy is oral erectogenic agents. So you try your PD-5 inhibitor for the organic cases, and the psychogenic cases, you are supposed to counsel them and so forth. It's still standard approach. But then after that, the second part, if they still don't work, you can use shockwave straight away if you think they're arteriogenic. The patient with high blood pressure, the patient with diabetes, these are all clear-cut patients that you can try right away after that.
Okay, last question.
You mentioned that the result is poor in the diabetic patient. Have you ever further investigated the result between the diabetic patient with well-controlled blood sugar and poorly controlled blood sugar?
Actually, all diabetic patients are immediately, we don't straight treat them right away. What we do is the minute they have, I see whether they are well controlled. If they are not, I send them straight away to my next door neighbor's endocrinologist, medical endocrinologist, to stabilize the blood sugar and everything. Because it's crazy to treat a patient who's got totally off limits blood sugar. And that is the priority for him, not erectile dysfunction. So on first principles, patient coming in with blood sugar haywire, HbA1c 14. I mean, you're crazy to treat ED, right? So you must go and stabilize that first. So, and we have shown you that diabetic patients do worse. So you must stabilize the diabetes first. It's common sense already, I think they want, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Because time is over too much, so we have to close the session now. And before we close the session, let's thank Professor Lim with a big hand.